Three Japanese Tales. One Frog Less. Simi was visiting a great prelate he knew when a young monk in the prelate's entourage said he had heard that Semi kept genies, and asked Semi whether he could kill a man easily. Not easily, no, Semi replied. It would take a big effort. I suppose I could kill a small creature readily enough, but I can't see any point in doing so. Since I wouldn't know how to bring it back to life, I'd just end up committing a sin. Just then, some frogs started jumping across the garden toward the pond. Try killing one of those for us, said the monk. Oh, you're wicked, aren't you? Semi replied. A challenge is a challenge, though. He picked up a blade of grass, muttered something, and tossed the grass at a frog. The grass crushed the frog and killed it instantly. The monks, looking on, turned pale with fear. The Spellbound Pirates. Chitoku, a monk and a professional yin-yang diviner, lived in Harima province. He was an unusual man. One day, a ship came sailing up the Harima coast toward the capital, laden with rich cargo. Just off Akashi, it was boarded by pirates, who stole everything on board and killed most of the crew. The only survivors were the vessel's owner and a couple of his servants, who plunged into the sea and managed to drag themselves, weeping, up on the shore. When Chitoku happened by, leaning on his staff, he asked them what the matter was. The owner told him how the day before they had been set upon by pirates. Why, that's terrible, Chitoku explained. I'll bring them to justice and get your things back for you. The owner did not take him seriously, but he humored Chitoku enough to say through his tears, I'd be very grateful if you would. What time yesterday did it happen? Chitoku asked, and the owner told him. Chitoku took the owner out in a small boat to precisely where the attack had occurred, then wrote things on the water and read words aloud over the sea. Back on land, he posted warrior guards, just as though he meant to arrest someone who was actually present. On the seventh day after the attack, a ship came drifting in from nowhere, full of armed men. The guards rowed out to meet them, but the men, who looked as though they were dead drunk, made no attempt to get away. It was the pirate ship, and everything the pirates had stolen was still on board, and the cargo was now unloaded and returned to its rightful owner. The local people wanted to seize the pirates themselves, but Chitoku had them turned over to him instead. Don't you ever do that again, he warned. By rights you should be executed, but that would just be another sin. Remember, there's an old monk in this province that you better not cross, and he sent them packing. Soon, the ship owner was able to begin fitting out another ship. The Test. Many years ago, a doddering old monk showed up at Simi's house on Tsuchimito Avenue in Kyoto in the company of two 10-year-old boys. Semi asked him who he was, and he answered that he was from Harima province and that he wanted to learn divination. He had come because Simi was supposed to be a real expert. Simi guessed that the old fellow knew more than what he let on and had actually come to test him. On his mettle now, he decided to have a bit of fun himself. The two boys did seem to be genies, so Simi prayed silently that if they were, they should vanish, and he secretly cast a spell and made the appropriate passes under his sleeves. Then he promised the monk that he would teach him whatever he wanted if he came back on some other, more auspicious day. The monk thanked him, bowed, and left. He was nearly out the gate when he stopped and began poking about among the carriages parked there. Then he came back to Semi. Those two boys I had with me have disappeared, sir. I'd appreciate you returning them before I go. I'm afraid I don't know what you mean. Why should I have taken your boys? I see what you mean, sir, but nonetheless, please accept my apology. Very well. You had me worried a moment, coming around with two genies to test me, but I advise you to do your testing elsewhere. You can't catch me like that. Then he murmured a spell, and shortly the two boys came running up to their master from somewhere outside. It's true, sir, the monk said. I did mean to test you. It's easy to keep genies, but I couldn't possibly make someone else's genies disappear. Please let me be your disciple. Simi accepted him on the spot.